Hey, it's Kobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this YouTube video breakdown, we're going to take a look at a blitz setup from the $3.2 mug that can either be run flipped or not flipped, depending on what offensive formation has been called. The name of the play that we use for this video breakdown is the $3.2 mug strong safety zone blitz. Here's a look at the playbooks you can find this play out of. Here's a look at the coaching adjustments that I'm going to use for this blitz setup. You'll notice right off the bat that I've got auto flip defensive play call set to off. As we work down here to this next one, I usually turn this off regardless of whatever I do. And this is going to be zone defense, will not be realigned in response to the offensive motion. So I usually disable that one. So I just want to point that out to you. Now I'm not going to make any other adjustments right there as far as going down the screen here until we get down here towards the bottom. And I got the safety depth set to close, and then I've got the safety width set to pinch. So those are the coaching adjustments that I'm going to use for this video breakdown. Before I show the blitz setups out of the $3.2 mug strong safety zone blitz, let's just take a look at the default pass coverages and pass rush assignments. Now this particular defense, one thing I did is, you remember in the coaching adjustments, I actually have the safeties lined up closer to the line of scrimmage. So I like that because what this does is it kind of doesn't make it look like a cover 3 defense. As you look at it, you can see that these defenders right here, particularly these corners and this safety right here, they look more in line. It doesn't really look like a cover 3 defense. And that's the nice thing about that. And so that's one of the reasons I like doing that, as far as bringing those defenders up a little bit closer to try to throw off my opponent. Now, if you want to, you can always, set it to cover 2 man or cover 2 and try to, make it. The problem with that, when you set those and adjust those coverages, then you get some guys out of alignment. Now, the one other thing I like about this particular defense, and I'm going to show you in just a second after I go through these coverages, is where a particular defender lines up at. Now, as you look at it, you can see it is a cover 3 defense. So you got these 3 defenders that are going to be playing cover 3. And then you also got 3 defenders that are going to be playing underneath. You got 2 guys playing these seam flats, and you got this one playing the 3 receiver hook. Now, as you look at the pass rushers, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. You got these 5 that are rushing the quarterback. It's this one right here I'm about to show, this 5th one. You're going to notice that he's stacked up right behind his linebacker right here, which is nice. This is going to be that strong safety. He's actually stacked up behind that linebacker. So that makes that nice because it's going to get him in a little bit quicker as far as getting pressure on the quarterback. Now what I want to do is I want to show you how to set this one up against this particular formation we're running again on the offensive side of thing, and that's the gun bunch tight end mesh. As far as setting up the $3.2 mug strong safety zone blitz against the gun bunch tight end mesh formation, I typically will not flip the defense. The reason is because I'm going to add another defender that's going to be dropping back into the hard flat, which is going to take away any receiver that might be going into this flat over here towards the left of your screen as you look at it. So what I'm going to do is there's going to be a guy I'm going to hot route here in just a second that's going to take that away. And the reason for this is with the 3 receivers to this side, as you look at it, I figure I might as well have an extra defender dropping in that side of the field versus having somebody maybe dropping over, somewhere in this area here, because there's only really just a running back and a tight end on the right. So I really don't need to do that necessarily. So that's the reason I don't flip it, because I know I'm going to add an extra defender dropping into that side of the field where the trip side is as you look at your screen. Now to set this one up, first thing you want to do is you want to shift the defensive line to the right as you look at your screen. And then you want to switch off to this defender, or you can do a quick adjust, which is going to be this defensive end. Now this is the edge rusher right there as you look at it. What I'm going to do with him, I'm actually going to put him into a hard flat. And you can see right now I've got 3 defenders that have been dropping into pass coverage over to the left side on the same side as the trips receivers as you look at it on that bunch formation right there as you look on your left. And the next thing you want to do is you want to switch off to this guy right here, and you're just going to simply just user him and try to take away anything that might be coming over the short middle of the field. So let's go ahead and run the play and take a look at it. Now keep in mind the offense is sending all 5 out. Now if this was they were to leave the running back in, this blitz isn't going to work quite as effective. Matter of fact, it's going to be hard to get in there unless the one of the defenders is actually able to shed and get past one of the offensive linemen or the running back that might be blocking. But as far as the pressure is concerned, it's going to come from this particular defender. Now remember, I talked about him being lined up closer to the line of scrimmage. That's nice because he's going to end up getting pressure on the quarterback as you watch this. So let's go ahead and run the play, take a look at it, and I'll show you what I mean as far as getting that pressure on the quarterback. And right there you can see he shoots through the B gap and applies that pressure on the quarterback, which is nice. Plus, we had all those defenders dropping back into pass coverage. Let's go ahead and take a look at this play and the X and O's of the play. From the All-22 and instant replay, we can get a better idea exactly how the X and O's of this particular play works as far as the $3.2 mug strong safety zone blitz. Now, what I'm trying to do is to get an extra defender to drop back into zone coverage on the trip side or the bunch side as you look at it. So you've got these 3 receivers that are lined up right here. And so what I want to do is get another defender to drop back into some type of coverage. In this case, I'm going to hot route this edge rusher here on the left side of the offensive line into a hard flat, because I have this guy already dropping back into a curl flat. And then we have this corner, as you look at your screen here, dropping back into this deep zone right there. So by having those 3 defenders dropping back, it kind of eliminates those 3 receivers to a degree. Now, they can do some things maybe to get somebody open, but that's the reason behind that. And this doesn't affect the blitz by hot routing that defender in that hard flat. Now, as far as the pressure, what I'm looking for is to get some B-gap pressure coming from this strong safety. Now, remember, he's stacked up behind this particular linebacker. And what he's going to do here is he's actually going to shoot through this B gap and apply that pressure in between the right guard and right tackle as we run through this. So let's go ahead and look at it, and you'll see what I mean right there as you look through the screen right there, as you can see it. So right there, the very first thing you're going to notice right off the bat is that these 2 guys right here, which is going to be this defensive lineman right here and then this linebacker, they're both going to occupy these 2 guys right here, which is going to be the center and the right guard. So that's nice right there. And then as you look at it out here to the right side of the screen, you've got this right tackle. He's going to be occupied by this guy. So this is going to clear out that nice B gap area where this linebacker, or excuse me, the strong safety can rush through and apply the pressure on the quarterback, such as you see on your screen. Now, as I zoom out here, so he's going to rush right here, as I talked about going through that A gap. Now, as I zoom out, you can see that I'm in control of this defender right here. And what I'm trying to do is take away any of the short passing routes. And right now you can see right there as I do this, I'm in pretty good shape to take those away as you look at it. The pass coverage is the rest of the way out here. As I talked about these 3 defenders out here, as you look at it, you got these 3 defenders dropping back, trying to take away only really just 2 receivers as you look at your screen coming into the left side of this. As you look at it, these, let me redo this here. But you got these 3 guys right here that are going to be matched up against just these 2 receivers, because they're actually only the 2 receivers running pass routes at this point to the left side. So I feel pretty confident that those guys are pretty much taken away. Now, the only thing that I can really see at this point my opponent might be able to throw to, he might be able to drop it off to this guy coming out of the backfield. But for the most part, the pass coverages are pretty solid. And you can see with the running back going out towards the right, this defender's coming over there. So we should be able to make a tackle. So the pass coverages are pretty decent as you look at it. And then plus we get the sack on the quarterback. So this is something you might want to look at as far as against this particular formation here, this gun bunch tight end formation that might work for you as far as, taking away those pass routes over there towards the left. Let's look at it against another formation that I want to show, another popular formation that you might find your opponent might run against you. This time the offense comes out in a gun bunch, strong, nasty, mesh flat spot. Now this particular formation, as you already know, has 3 receivers lined up to the right side or in a bunch look. In this particular case, you got the tight end and then those 2 receivers. Now to set this one up, and you still get that same type of pressure, this B-gap pressure that we're looking to get, we actually have to flip the play, because you want to have another defender that's going to be dropping into hard flat, much like we did with the gun bunch tight end formation. This time it's going to end up being this edge rusher here is lined up to the right side on the same side of the bunch formation. So what we're going to do eventually here is we're actually going to put him into the hard flat. And that's going to give us, if you look at it, that's going to give us 3 defenders that are actually going to be dropping into some type of zone coverage to the right side or to the bunch side of the formation, as you look at your screen right there. So as I mentioned, what you need to do here is you need to go ahead and flip the play. Now, when you flip the play, you're going to notice at this point, the free safety, it now comes down here, and he's the one that's actually blitzing. He'll be applying the pressure. He'll shoot through this B gap between the left guard and left tackle and apply that pressure on the quarterback. Now, as far as the setup is concerned here, what we want to do here is you look at it, we're going to go ahead and shift the defensive line to the left as you look at your screen right there, such as you see. And then you want to call QB contain. All right, there's your setup so far. And then you're going to simply switch over to this guy right here, and you want to put him into a hard flat, or you can do it quick adjust. And then you're going to switch over to this linebacker right here. And what you're going to do with him is you're going to look to take away any of the short pass routes that might be coming into this area there, such as you see on your screen. What I'm going to do is run this play, but before I do, one other thing I did want to point out, sometimes when you flip this play, or if they come out in no huddle, this safety right here may line up a little bit further off the line of scrimmage. If he does, then you would have to bring him up closer to what I'm showing right there. You have to manually take control of him to bring him up to get him into that position. All right, what I want to do is I want to run this play and take a look at it and see if we can get this B-gap pressure on the quarterback as you look at your screen right there. And right there, you can see we get that B-gap pressure on the quarterback. So that's really it as far as the setup is concerned with this. if you're looking to get pressure with this particular defense. Now, again, you don't have to flip these plays, but I prefer to do this because I feel like against certain type of formations, it works better, especially against these bunch type formations where you can get that extra defender dropping back into pass coverage. All right, that wraps everything up as far as showing this particular blitz setup out of the $32 mug called the Strong Safety Zone Blitz, as far as flipping the defense either to get B-gap pressure becoming between the left guard or left tackle, or between the right guard and the right tackle, depending on what the formation is. So again, if you guys enjoyed this video breakdown, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. I always appreciate that. So once again, guys, thanks for watching it. Hope this will give you guys some insight of how to run this particular play here in Madden 26. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for more Madden guides, strategy, and tips content. See you in the next video.